Okay, we're going to go into the presentations. I would like to ask Mayor Armstead to please come down to the floor for a proclamation for National Poison Prevention Week.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I think it was 1961, Congress had designated the third full week in March as a National Poison Prevention Week, and with just cause, with good reason. Thousands of kids were being poisoned needlessly, and it's very easy when you're a child. You see medicines, or you'll see liquids. They look like there's something that you can drink, and not knowing any better, you'll sometimes take them and put them in your mouth, and the next thing you know, you have a major problem. So without any further ado, we're going to read a proclamation with regards to National Poison Prevention Week. Whereas Congress designated the third full week in March to be National Poison Prevention Week in 1961, and since then, this week has helped to raise national awareness of the dangers of potentially poisonous medicines, household chemicals, and other substances. Whereas poisoning is a preventable illness, from the youngest to the oldest, all people and even pets are at risk. And poison centers across the country will focus the public's attention on identifying poisoning hazards at home, as well as learning ways to prevent poisoning emergencies. And whereas a poison is defined as anything that is taken in the wrong amount, in the wrong way, or by the wrong person, and unintentional poisoning is the leading cause of unintentional injury, death in New Jersey, outnumbering deaths by motor vehicles and firearms. And whereas drug overdose deaths include those from prescription and over-the-counter medications, as well as illegal drugs such as heroin, methamphetamines, remain in epidemic proportions for both New Jersey and the United States, and approximately 94% of unintentional poison deaths nationally and 96% in New Jersey. Drugs are the poison. Whereas, although the majority of reported poison exposures involve children 5 years old and younger, the majority of poisoning deaths occur in adults aged 20 to 59, and lead poisoning remains the major public health concern. Elevated blood levels can cause significant and permanent damage to the health and well-being of young children. There is no safe level of lead. Stop a child's exposure to lead before it causes harm. And whereas the New Jersey Poison Information and Education System, a division of the Department of Emergency Medicine of New Jersey Medical School of Rutgers, the State University of New Jersey provides expert advice, drug information, and poison prevention education to New Jersey residents through the 800-222-1222 Poison Help Hotline. And all services are free, confidential, multilingual, and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and even during bouts of Mother Nature. And whereas the public can contact poison experts by calling 1-800-222-122 or chatting www.njpies.org or texting 800-222-1222 at njpies.org. And whereas consumers must be aware that e-cigarette devices, hookah pipes, and liquid nicotine may contain very high doses of nicotine and enticing colors, aromas, and flavors, increasing the likelihood that small children and pets will focus their attention to them. These products pose serious risk of poisoning, and poison experts urge residents to use our services as a resource for poison and drug information instead of consulting the internet for information that may not be accurate. And whereas we encourage all citizens to program the Poison Helpline 800-222-1222 into home, office, and cell phones, because a rapid response can make the difference in preventing serious injury and saving lives and poison centers and saving lives. and poison centers help to eliminate thousands of unnecessary and expensive emergency department visits by offering callers access to free confidential medical advice. And whereas NJ Pies is also involved with the state's efforts in homeland defense, counterterrorism, emergency preparedness and response, biosurveillance, and surveillance for clusters of poisoning and their sources, products, food and beverages, chemicals in the workplace and at home, environmental toxins, drugs and medicine, and animal and insect bites and stings. Now therefore, I, Derek Armstead, Mayor of the City of Linden, State of New Jersey, do hereby proclaim that the week of March 17th through the 23rd, 2019, as National Poison Prevention Week in New Jersey, and encourage all citizens to pledge their commitment to ensuring the safety of themselves, their families, and community. That was a tough proclamation.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to call on Councilman Barry Javik to please go read a proclamation honoring Joseph Oganowski for his 100th birthday.
Do you have it, Barry? You have a proclamation? Okay, good. That's all right.
This gentleman is a friend of mine for more than 10 years, and he just hit his golden age of 100 years old. Okay, the proclamation. Whereas Joseph Oganowski was born on March 2nd, 1919 in Elizabeth, New Jersey. He was the fifth child born to Martin and Catherine Oganowski. Joseph had four older siblings, Mary, Michael, Charles, and Bernice, and four younger siblings, Frank, Stanley, Albert, and Felix. And whereas Joseph attended St. Albert School in Elizabeth, where he later became an usher and trustee for the church until retiring in 1984. He retired from Bury Biscuits, where he worked for 12 years. Prior to that, he worked at Union Carbide for 28 years. And whereas Joseph married his first wife, Lillian Pacula, and they started their family, Joseph and Lillian were married 27 wonderful years until her passing in 1975. They were blessed with 5 children of their own, Mark, Paul, Joel, Claudia, and Marie. Their first grandchild was born in 1980. Joseph now has 5 grandchildren and 4 great-grandchildren. And whereas Joseph married his second wife, Betty, after marrying Betty, Joseph found a new appreciation for travel. They traveled to many places like Barbados, Hawaii, Las Vegas, and Poland, just to name a few. And whereas Joseph's zest for life continued when he married his third wife, Terry, once again traveling and enjoying life. And whereas Joseph was and still is active in various organizations such as the Knights of Columbus, the Holy Name Society, the Polish National Home of Elizabeth, and the Pulaski Parade Committee. He was also a member of the Catholic Golden Age, the Linden Moose, and the Linden Elks. And whereas Joseph retired in 1984 and joined the Linden Retirement Men's Club as an active member. Now, for the past 35 years, he enjoys meeting with all his friends at their weekly meetings. And whereas Joseph enjoyed swimming, league bowling, playing softball with the St. Stan's Club, and dancing at various ballrooms throughout the state, and now, therefore, be it proclaimed that I, Derek Armstead, Mayor of the City of Linden in the state of New Jersey, on this, the 26th day of February 2019, am honored to congratulate Joseph Oganowski on his 100 years of life. He is a man of integrity who lives a rich life full of love, friendship, service to others, and especially helping wherever and whenever he can.
Okay.
Do you want to say anything?
Just that
Go ahead.
life is not a picnic. Life is a hardship from the bottom to the top. Once you beat the bad stuff, you have nothing but good stuff left. So you enjoy it. Because your life is short, you don't know when you're going to go. And God bless you all, and you too.
Mayor Armstead, could you please read the proclamation for Kids to Park Day?
Okay. Okay. Every year throughout the country, we have what we call as Kids to Park Day. And the idea here is to try to get kids off of their handheld devices and get them out into the park to do something a little more physical. So here in Linden, we will be having our annual Kids to Park Day, May 18th. And the proclamation reads as, whereas May 18th, 2019 is the 9th Kids to Park Day, organized and launched by the National Park Trust, held annually on the third Saturday of May. Whereas Kids to Park Day empowers kids and encourages families to get outdoors and visit America's parks. And whereas it is important to introduce a new generation to our nation's parks, and whereas we should encourage children to lead more active lifestyles to combat the issues of childhood obesity, diabetes, hypertension, and hypercholesterolemia. And whereas Kids to Park Day is open to all children and adults across the country to encourage a large and diverse group of participants, and whereas Kids to Park Day will broaden children's appreciation for nature and outdoors. Now therefore, I, Derek Armstead, the Mayor of Linden, New Jersey, do hereby proclaim this 19th day of March, 2019, to participate in Kids to Parks Day in partnership with our Mayor's Youth Commission and Public Property and Community Services Department, and I urge the residents of our community to make time on May 18th, 2019, to take the children in their lives to a neighborhood, state, or national park. Signed by myself.
Thank you, Mayor. We now have the proclamation for Gilbert Nolasco.
Okay. Let me preface this proclamation by stating, you know, we have some outstanding kids, some outstanding children in our school system. And I never knew this, that he had overcome such adversity. I would just see him with his Navy ROTC uniform, and I just saw him as just an outstanding child in our school system, always respectful, always going above and beyond, and he's a leader amongst his peers. And I never knew the adversity that he had overcome until it was brought to my attention. But we have a proclamation, and it reads, whereas Gilbert Nolasco, at an early age, was deaf and used sign language as a way to communicate with others. And while enrolled in the public schools pre-kindergarten class, he was unable to communicate with peers, and because of his disability, was enrolled into a special education program. And whereas Gilbert Nolasco, while in elementary school, miraculously regained his hearing, and with the support of his parents and teacher, began to catch up with his peers and started to make regular education classes in the special education program. Whereas Gilbert Nolasco was frequently teased for his learning deficiencies, and he struggled with feeling isolated and unaccepted. It was because of this he became determined to not let others define him, and he worked relentlessly to achieve success in school, spending countless hours outside of school working diligently to complete homework and review material that he struggled with in class. And whereas Gilbert Nolasco, by the time he reached 8th grade, he was out of the special education program and enrolled in regular education classes, and remembers the unbelievable feeling that he had at that time, weeping with tears of joy. Since that time, he has continued to grow as an individual, both academically and personally. Whereas Gilbert Nolasco, during his tenure in high school, is determined to succeed and challenge himself by enrolling in both the demanding Navy Junior ROTC and the rigorous IB diploma programs. He works tirelessly to achieve success in both endeavors and continually demonstrates an unmatched work ethic and commitment level. And his academic success has been remarkable, as he has risen to be Regimental Commanding Officer, which is the highest-ranking cadet leadership position in a unit comprised of over 450 high school cadets. And whereas Gilbert Nolasco is humbled by the fact that if it were not for his parents, teachers, and many others who have supported him and guided him on his path to overcome obstacles and achieve success, and he has used this to his motivation to constantly look for opportunities to help others in need, wherever and whenever possible. And whereas Gilbert Nolasco sees the challenge he faces in life as a part of a larger purpose, and that is being able to positively impact others and help them with their own struggles, as he constantly puts himself in the service of his community for the betterment of others, and has never once looked for any type of accolades or recognition. Gilbert always strives to lead by example, and he is an example that is extremely worthy of emulation. And now, therefore, it be proclaimed that I, Derek Armstead, Mayor of the City of Linden in the state of New Jersey, on this 19th day of March 2018, do hereby proclaim that it is my honor to express appreciation to Gilbert Nolasco, for he is a great example of an individual who was faced with difficulties and setbacks throughout his childhood, and these challenges were his motivation to preserve and achieve tremendous success. And he used these personal experiences as a positive example in helping others to strive to overcome the obstacles that may block their path. And I will once again say, he is an outstanding student. He is a person that any parent would be proud to have. I know when I see him commanding those other young people, and he does command them, and they respect him with authority, he would be ideal in any army I was ever in charge of. Congratulations.
Thank you, everyone. I'm deeply honored for this proclamation, and let's give a round of applause to our mayor for the fantastic job he's been doing for our city. I'm truly thankful and humbled by this. Not many get this opportunity, but this is truly an honor of my life. Advice I could give to any person is obstacles and hardships are just an opportunity for you to learn, for you to do better, and it serves as an experience. So I tell all of you, don't view obstacles and failures as something bad. Use it as something that motivates you, that makes you want to do better. Because in life, we're not alone. And if we reach success, it's because there are people around us that help us get there. Thank you so much.
Josh, let's get one more. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Proud of you, man.
Congratulations. Councilman Brown? Councilman Brown, will you please join Mayor Armstead? Mayor, we're going to start with the presentation to Sherry Pisano,
Okay,
bowling team.
yes. I'm going to let Councilman Brown read both of these presentations. No, you're up here now,
He's-
buddy. You're here now. That's what we hired you for. You're gonna be- There you go. But I'm going to say a few words prior to this. I am an avid Linden High School basketball fan. And we sometimes say Linden means basketball. But tonight, I got to tell you something, we may have to change that slogan, you know what I mean? We may have to say Linden means bowling, because we've got an outstanding bowling team. Year in and year out, they bring home the gold. And they couldn't do it without a tremendous, and I mean a tremendous coach, Sherry Pisano. So, now, usually we put people in the Hall of Fame after they retire, okay? But she's making it to the Hall of Fame before she retires. So what do we do after that? Is there some other type of fame we can put you in? I don't know. Maybe we just build a statue and put it outside the building. I don't know. But no,
Ms. Pisano, would you please come up?
I just want to thank you for your time and your energy, because we all know that when you put time in with our children, it's 25 years. She said 25. She doesn't look like she worked for 20. She doesn't look like 25 years old. Now, when you put time in, that's to be commended. They're our future, and certainly when they're involved in activities, it keeps them from going down a different path. So thank you for all you do. And again, I don't know, to Hall of Fame now, where do you go from here? I don't know. Okay.
I'm just extremely
God bless
humble.
you. So, Peter Brown, Councilman Brown's going to come up and read my sister's, okay, thank you. Thank you, Councilwoman Ormond. Peter left his glasses home.
Well, one thing I do, I carry several pair with me. But first, I just want to say that Coach Pisano is one of the most gracious, kindest women that I have met. She loves the children, and she is so committed and dedicated to their success. When you have someone like Coach Pisano behind you, you have no other choice but to succeed. And I see some of the bowlers that are there. I know they love her just as much as she loves them. You guys have a great coach. So I'm going to take a few minutes to read the resolution recognizing the best coach, the best bowling coach there is. Whereas Sherry Pisano has been part of the Linden School District and Linden's athletic program for over 25 years, Sherry started her career in Linden in 1994 when she began teaching special education and history. And whereas Sherry Pisano coached the Linden High School softball team from 1995 to 2010 and led the Tigers to the Union County Tournament Championship game in 2007 and 2009. In 2000, she was approached by school administrators interested in making her the coach of the bowling team. Sherry was surprised by this since she hadn't applied for the position. It was at that time that she was made aware that one of Linden's all-state bowlers had made the request for her to become their coach. She accepted. And whereas Coach Sherry and the Linden High School bowling team have been able to achieve great accomplishments with the dedicated guidance of Coach Pisano, who became the Linden High School varsity bowling coach in 2000, Ms. Pisano has been named North 2 Group 4 Coach of the Year 3 times, the National Federation of High School Coaches in 2006 Boys Bowling Coach of the Year, Star Ledger Bowling Coach of the Year for North Jersey Sectional 2, 3 years in a row, NJSCA Bowling Coach of the Year in 2007, and on March 24, 2019, Coach Pisano will be inducted into the New Jersey State Coaches Hall of Fame. And whereas on March 24, 2019, when Coach Sherry Pisano is inducted into the New Jersey Scholastic Coaches Association Hall of Fame, she will be the 6th coach and the first woman from Linden to be honored. Therefore, Derek Armstead, Mayor of the City of Linden, and the members of the governing body do hereby congratulate Coach Sherry Pisano and thank her for her hard work and dedication to the students and the sport of bowling. Signed, passed March 19, 2019, signed Council President Michelle Yomakaitis and Mayor Derek Armstead.
Congratulations, Coach.
And I just want to say one other word. Not only is she just wonderful to the kids on her bowling team. She's wonderful to all the kids. Every single last child that crosses her path, she takes a special interest in them, and especially those with special needs. So I just love her for that.
Let's take a quick picture. Sure.
Okay.
Give you a little resolution here.
Okay, now I'd like to ask the members of the bowling team to please come forward.
Now, she's a good coach, but we all know if you don't have anything to coach, you can't succeed. So we know that we've got some outstanding young bowlers here from Linden, and I'm proud to say I know a few of them. And not only are they good bowlers, they're very good children. As you see them walking about and you see them in town, very respectful, and that's to be commended for that. So keep up the good work, guys. And again, we have a resolution for you guys, and I'm going to let my sister read that as well, and we'll take a picture.
To the Linden High School bowling team, whereas under the direction of Coach Sherry Pisano, the 2018-2019 Linden High School bowling team had a very exciting and successful season. And whereas the Linden High School bowling team this season finished at 14-3, capped off a 43-match winning streak that stretched back-to-back seasons, winning the Union County tournament. Over the years, under Coach Pisano's direction, this Tigers team have won both sectional and Watchung Conference titles. And whereas the Linden High School bowling team was able to achieve these accomplishments with the dedicated guidance of Coach Pisano, who became the Linden High School varsity bowling coach in 2000, Ms. Pisano was named North 2 Group 4 Coach of the Year 3 times, the National Federation of High School Coaches 2006 Boys Bowling Coach of the Year, New Jersey, and she currently serves on the NJSIAA Bowling Rules and Regulations Committee. And on March 24, 2019, Coach Pisano will be inducted into the New Jersey State Coaches Hall of Fame. And whereas the Linden High School bowling team 2018-2019 roster includes members James Fitz, Anthony Golubeck, Matthew Soto, Justin Peters, Darius Lewis, and Nicholas Plummer. And now, therefore, Derek Armstead, Mayor of the City of Linden, and the members of the governing body do hereby congratulate the Linden High School bowling team and staff on their successful bowling season. This 2018-2019 bowling team and a season will be remembered for many years. Passed March 19th and signed by Council President Michelle Yamakaitis and Mayor Derek Armstead and City Clerk Joe Bodak.
Congratulations. I guess shake it.
Congratulations again, team. Thank you.